In this video, I will go over 3 habits that will make you jacked faster. Here's the thing, these habits are just about one aspect of the getting jacked equation. There are 2 parts to it, losing body fat and building muscle. In this video, I will go over how you build muscle faster. So let's start with the first one, and it is to have a consistent sleep schedule. So here's the thing, a lot of people know and completely comprehend the importance of sleep. You probably know too that without sleeping, you won't really build muscle, and sleep is the time in which you actually build muscle. But a lot of people who go and spend enough time in bed and spend enough time sleeping, neglect one thing. They neglect the consistency of their sleep schedule. They neglect sleep quality. Here's the thing, even though sleep time, the time that you actually allocate to sleep, is extremely important, and it is the actual prerequisite to having a quality sleep for that time. Think about it like this: if you sleep 7 hours, you cannot have a quality sleep for 9 hours, right? It is a prerequisite, but sleep quality is also a massive aspect of it that should not be overlooked. The first habit to get jacked faster, to build more muscle, is to regulate your circadian rhythm, to basically have a consistent sleep schedule. So when making this video, I just wanted to make sure that I won't be just talking bullshit and bro science that has no real value, right? And I found this systematic review. It basically went over a few studies and tried to find a correlation, an association between sleep regularity and sleep time. The early sleep, late sleep, right? And health outcomes. But what it found basically is that earlier sleep, this is a side point, not this video, is associated with better health outcomes. But here's the thing, it also found that sleep regularity is also associated with better health outcomes. And we all know that the part of sleep, that sleep itself is associated with better health outcomes, and better sleep is associated with better health outcomes, which by extension validates the idea that sleep regularity improves sleep quality, which improves your recovery in the gym. That's the first way. And here's the thing, the way to actually have a more regular sleep schedule based on the time that you want to, if you don't have right now, is to sleep deprive yourself. I know it sounds weird, and you might say, Ori, what the fuck? You're suggesting that I should genuinely sleep deprive myself? What the fuck? Here's the thing. Listen. If you haven't been able to implement a consistent sleep schedule to your life, there is a very simple reason to why you haven't managed to do it. It's because you are not really tired when you need to fall asleep, right? There is this time that you really want to fall asleep at, that you want to go to sleep and actually sleep at, and there is the time that you want to wake up at. You want to basically, if you're like most people, to get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep each and every night. The reason why you don't manage to just go to sleep at the time that you want to is not something weird and that cannot be explained. It is because you're not really tired at the time. Think about the last time that you were just so freaking exhausted and the only thing that you could think about was sleep. Did you go to sleep pretty fast, right? From that point in which you were really tired and wanted to sleep, and you had something to do, did you just try to finish that thing that you were doing as fast as possible and go to sleep? The answer is probably yes. And the reason why that just going to sleep at that time and being regular with it and doing it consistently feels so hard is because you're not really tired at the time that you should go to sleep at. The way to be tired at a time is to temporarily sleep deprive yourself. Just go and wake up at the early time that you want to wake up at, even though you will be sleep deprived. But by doing so, you will actually be tired at night, you will actually go to sleep and fall asleep, and with enough time, you will have a consistent sleep schedule and a better sleep quality. You will go to sleep and you will fall asleep faster, and when you will sleep, your sleep quality will probably improve. And then there is the second habit, and it is to consume protein with every meal. We used to think that there is a certain anabolic window that if you eat protein at, you will build a lot of muscle and you will just get much jacked and see a lot more results, but it has been debunked. I want to talk about this meta-analysis because it showed, one of its conclusions was that the main benefit that one will see from consuming protein around the workout time is that his total protein intake will go up, and because of that he will just get more hypertrophy, because consuming protein gives the body amino acids that contribute to muscle building. That's how the body builds muscle. It uses amino acids. That's the main way in which it concluded consuming protein around the workout should benefit muscle gain. And that is the thing. Consuming protein around the workout time might have some benefit for muscle gain, but the main benefit comes from actually consuming enough protein and consuming it in more than one meal. Doesn't really matter, because studies show, and this meta-analysis showed, that when total protein intake is accustomed for, pretty much meal timing and all of the other stuff don't go completely out of the window, but they become much less significant. This habit is not about meal timing itself or the anabolic window or anything like that. It is just about increasing total protein intake. This habit is about consuming protein in each one of your meals. Right? When you consume more protein in each one of your meals, the chances that you won't undereat your protein will become much less significant. That's the second habit. Now, quality matters too, right? Animal-based protein is better. Eggs, meat, cheese, these are all great sources of protein. Why, there are some other good sources of protein from plants like soy, but in general, the main source of your protein should be animal-based. And then there is a third habit, and it is to train hard. What's the one thing that without muscle gain cannot really occur? It is not the way that you lift. It is not your technique, because one can lift low weights and with a very shitty technique and still build a lot of muscle. The one thing that causes hypertrophy, not strength gain, hypertrophy, is intensity with progressive overload. Let's say that you train very intensely and you progressively get stronger, but you lift very low weights. Here's the thing, you will still build a lot of muscle if you will go and lift very low weights, but still train very intensely. Why? It just means that you're weaker, but you will still trigger a lot of hypertrophy, and that's why training hard is very important. There is this meta-analysis that showed not a dose-response relationship between intensity and strength, but between intensity and hypertrophy in a sense of reps and reserve, right proximity to failure. Reps in reserve of 1 is 1 rep away from failure, 2 reps an area of 2. Basically, train close to muscular failure is one of these things that are essential for hypertrophy, especially for more advanced lifters. Beginners are in the newbie gains phase, which might change things a bit, but for more advanced lifters, it is essential. Now, how hard? This level of hard. I know you should not get fucking red from training, but you should have this fucking weird face when you train. You should actually push yourself to your limits, because that's how you build muscle. Not necessarily get stronger, right? But build muscle. You should not go to failure all of the times, but essentially what you want to do is to train intensely most of the times. A set that is not taken even remotely close to failure is basically junk volume for hypertrophy, right? When I say not even remotely close, I talk about a warm-up set, right? Not fucking 4 reps in reserve, bro. You will not build muscle if you will get to this RAR. I'm talking more about 10 reps in reserve, 20 reps in this amount of load. This is pretty much a warm-up, and it won't cause you to build muscle. And then let's recap everything. Consistent sleep schedule is about, waking up and going to sleep at the same times every day. Protein intake in more meals. Basically, the one way to consume more protein is to consume more protein. The one way to make consuming more protein easier is to consume more protein in more meals, right? Include more protein in most of your meals. And then the third way is to train hard. In most of your sets, how hard? An RAR of 1 to 3 and sometimes 0, just so you know what failure is in this exercise. And that's essentially it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.